all, and welcome back to a new video here on Let's Talk Racing. And since the last video, plenty's been going down. We've headed over to Chepstow and back. We've been to Ollie Murphy's, Christian Williams, and most importantly, we are now Let's Talk Racing in association with Racing TV. A fantastic opportunity for the two of us to team up with obviously one of the biggest hitters in the racing game, and also that's brought about an audio podcast. So therefore, if you've seen us on Twitter over the last day or two, you'd know, but if you haven't already, look at the Racing TV podcast channels and you'll find we have started a Let's Talk Racing audio podcast. I know myself and Josh were hinting at this a couple of weeks ago, and we finally got round to doing it, and we're doing it under the Racing TV name. So it's really a fantastic opportunity for you guys to get involved. Potentially, if the YouTube videos are sometimes a little bit difficult to look at when you're on your commute or on a run or something like that, now you've got that extra content as well alongside the regular videos here on the channel.
Absolutely, very, very exciting. As well as the additional audio podcast over on the Racing TV channels, we're allowed to use interviews and race footage. So hopefully the actual quality of YouTube videos on here will be massively upgraded as well, and will make for a better viewing experience. Very, very excited. Obviously, over the last 6 or 7 months, if you've been watching for that time or you've joined us in between, you'll know that we're keen to excite the younger demographic and get into the nitty-gritty jump stuff even during the summer. I'm sure we have many messages going, what on earth are you talking about Cheltenham in June? And it's probably a fair point, but we're just obsessed, and we're looking forward to kicking on with better quality content as well. So thank you very much for making that happen, and if you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It massively helps, as you can see. And that first audio only podcast included our visit to Chepstow, what we thought of Nappers Hill and 300 through 5 and the Persian War and the Silver Trophy, as well as Brave Man's Game Chasing debut, and then also a bit of scoop from Ollie Murphy's and Christian Williams. So if you do want to go and listen to that, it'll be linked in the first line of the description. So this video is going to be very short and sweet. We did just want to let you know that, and then also we're going to be looking at the weekend's racing. We've got a couple of tips each. Andrew, you've got one in the Welsh Champion Hurdle. I
do indeed. It looks like a good Welsh Champion Hurdle on the face of things. Obviously very interesting to see whether So Royale, Ballyandy, whether either of these turn up at the top of the weights to make the betting. But the one I've landed on, he's had a decent enough flat season, and last time out was seen second to the really exciting Ollie Murphy horse Copperless in the Swinton Hurdle, and that's Cormier for Brian Ellison. He's sneaking in off the bottom of the weights here off 133, and it wouldn't surprise me if they try claim off and maybe Danny McMenamin taking £3 as well. He run, as I say, he came second to Copperless in that very well regarded Haydock run with Comprond back in fourth that day. He's obviously gone on to win that Persian War Novice Hurdle last week at Chepstow. So it looks to be fairly robust form at the moment, and I'd like to hope with the connections the way they are, we're going to get an each way price about him. So Cormier for me in the Welsh Champion Hurdle. I think this has been a decent plan, and hopefully he can run a big race off a mark of 133.
Interesting, I've got another one in the Welsh Champion Hurdle. I quite like Calico for the Skeltons, a graded level flat horse. I was a massive fan of this going into the Scottish Champion Hurdle. Things just didn't quite work out. We've seen him 4 times since he's been with Skelton, and I say the best form would be finishing second to Cape Gentleman in the Dovecote at Kempton, and even the run after at Warwick. We went to Ollie Murphy's yard and he was very keen on Moore Margot, who finished second that day. So he's a young horse, and I think he's going to be one of those horses that will benefit from a full summer on his back with Skelton. Dan only got him in September last year, so they went straight away into racing. He hasn't had a break, but now he's had the summer. Hopefully he's filled out a bit, got a bit stronger, and I personally don't think he'll be running off 139 for very long. Why are you shaking your head?
I just think long-term listeners and myself will know that plenty of these phrases and caveats for reasons why he hasn't performed just seem very similar to a horse that was so scared of Pay the Piper this afternoon that he actually became a non-runner in Third Time Lucky last year. You have to admit there are some similarities here. He's a hard travelling horse, doesn't find off the bridle, and it seems to be, if there's 2 ounces of rain, it's too much rain. If there's 1 ounce of rain, it's not enough rain. Like, what is this perfect conditions for this horse?
I'm going to let Calico do the talking in the Welsh Champion Hurdle this weekend, and then we'll come and revisit that on the next video. The next bet I've got is in the Prelude handicap chase at Market Rasen, and it wouldn't be massive, but Nigel Twiston-Davies runs Guy, a young 5-year-old, and if he was to be an each-way price, I'm not sure what price he'll be, or even if he's going to run, but he's entered in the race. If he was to be an each-way price, he would be of interest. He was impressive on his first start of offences last year, at a similar time of year, on similar ground, and he's young. Another summer on his back would do him the world of good, and Guy could be well handicapped off a low mark in the mid-20s. So Guy in the Prelude. You've got one in that as well.
Yeah, well, one of the horses that's been very lucrative for me this summer and has helped me put up a cricket score on you on the 4 to Follow series is Manila Trump, and I think Manila Trump is probably coming to the end of what's been a lucrative summer campaign. It wouldn't surprise me whether this is the last target and then they'll give him a well-deserved time off. Just looking at his Perth runs, and I know you can look that he's only been winning at Perth, but when you look, he's beaten Hewick of Shark Hanlon's in second 2 starts back, which looks good form now, and then he beat Pay the Piper last time out, and I'm a massive fan of Pay the Piper. I know he only had a schooling session today, but he'll be winning plenty more races this winter. So I think Manila Trump, there may well be one more win in him this summer, and then, or well, it's now getting into the autumn, and then he'll be put away probably for a spring campaign. But he's been very lucrative, and I've actually lost count. I was counting for a while on that 4 to Follow series of who was in front and what was the scores, but I've actually run out. My totting paper is, I've run out of pages, Josh.
Clearly, Andrew's expertise lies in summer horses. I prefer to wait for the proper winter horses, so they're not out for a few more weeks yet, and I'm sure that score is going to change rapidly. You've got one more bet.
I do indeed, just over in Cork on Sunday, a 2 mile handicap chase, second last race on the card. Abbey Magic tops the weights, quite like Cathal Byrne's horse in this Poseidon. When you look back at his second to Embittered, only beaten a half length a couple of starts ago. Embittered's gone on to win a grade 3 today, actually, as we record, and second in a grade 3 last time out to Exit Pole. That looks pretty strong form. I know he unseated last time, but he's going to win a big handicap at some stage. He looks a good travelling horse from that yard, and when the money's down, he'll win.
Confident, I like it. A couple of youngsters I've got for you to watch this weekend. Cobbler's Dream in the listed Novices Hurdle at Kempton on Sunday. I can't imagine he's going to be a huge price, but he fetched £85,000 after a bumper win in Ireland, since moved to David Case, and was very impressive on his debut at Warwick. He looks like a very exciting horse this season. Frontier General for Henry de Bromhead in the 2.5 mile maiden hurdle at Cork on Sunday. A horse who won his point to point. We've not seen him since, but I know that the yard particularly like him, so he'd be one to have a good watch. And then also on Monday at Plumpton, you wouldn't honestly, on Monday at Plumpton, I'm quite excited by it's a 155, it's a Novices Hurdle, and Call of the Wild for Alan King and JP McManus goes up against Haddocks de Zobo of Gary Moores. I thought Haddocks de Zobo last time at Fontwell was the best horse in the race. He did finish second, but he was extremely keen, and he was only beaten at a short distance. I think he'll come on for that run. And then also Call of the Wild won a bumper at Huntingdon in May by 8.5 length, and he was mega impressive. I do urge you to go back and watch that race. In fact, I'll link it down below as well. Both of them look pretty smart, and they're both jocked up as well, so that could be a Monday treat to get you through the worst day of the week. So Call of the Wild versus Haddocks de Zobo. There's a few others in there, but I don't think they're in the same league as these two. So hopefully they both turn up, and hopefully that might be quite informative for races and months to come. So yeah, a short and sweet video. We do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like if you do like it, and let us know as well. The next video is going to be the October Cheltenham update. It'll be probably at the end of this week. So if you've got any topics, any questions you want us to answer, please do get them down in the comments. We'll also be doing a Twitter feed version of that, so go and let us know the topics or questions that you want answered on the next video. But thank you very much. So excited about the news about Racing TV coming on board with Let's Talk Racing, and hopefully we can kick on and make some good content.
Hopefully banging a few more winners in and totting up that score in the 4 to Follow series. That's my weekly plan.
Well, to be fair, you can have the 4 to Follow, but last week's video I had Orby's Legend who won. We also had some Chaos Together, that's fair enough, and then a few of those exciting youngsters who weren't massive prizes on Sunday as well. So I'm 1-0. Have a great one, and we'll see you in the next video.